Welcome back to our message from our divine compassionate guides. Thank you as always for joining me. I hope today's message helps, heals, and serves you in the way that's most appropriate. Let's get started. I am pulling from the Divine Abundance Oracle cards by Tosha Silver. And our message for today is liberation. The doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they're you. So as always, just take a deep breath in. As you exhale, allow yourself to be open. And let's look at this card today, liberation. So we're being guided that when we let go of things that trigger us to have that doubt, that fear, we no longer identify with them. And we are liberated. We are free from the fears, the doubts, and the things that hold us back. So we're being called to let go of those things, let go of the things that don't help us and keep us from being liberated. And this is easy as being able to speak our truth, which has come up in the last few readings. Truth has come up multiple times. Standing in our power. When we stand in our power, there is no doubts and fears. We are liberated when we stand in that power center. And we don't believe any of these doubts we might come across or these beliefs like we're not good enough or this person's better than us. Because the reality is you can always find somebody who is more talented or just better at something than you are. But the reality is you are your own unique combination of skills, talents, and magical abilities. We're all so unique and different. So even if we perceive that someone might be better than us in a certain way, there's certain ways that they're going to struggle. So we need to be able to liberate ourselves, that we can come back to that time or that base understanding that these doubts, these fears, these things that pull us into lower vibrations are not truth. And when we no longer identify with them and they no longer cause us to make decisions based on these fears, doubts, and untruths, we are then liberated when we can talk the truth. Again, speak what we want to speak, talk about these things that have happened over the last 3 years that are absolutely insane. And, and talk about the truth. The truth is people were so scared. The psychological operation used against the masses, they've mastered it. They've been working on this technology and this propaganda for generations. The reality is the Nazis didn't really lose. They were recruited under the guise of all these alphabet letter agencies throughout North America. And they continued doing these tests and all these things on us. So they were ready. When this plan of the last 3 years, they had it. There's so many people that shows TV shows and movies that were predictive programming. So part of us being liberated first is realizing that some of our beliefs, actually a lot of them, are bad programming from a kind of satanic system that doesn't want us liberated, wants us to doubt and fear and fall in line. Be a good sheeple, fall in line. If you don't do this, your grandma's gonna die and you don't want your grandma to die. This weird guilt is not truth. And again, if we come back to liberating ourselves, truth never has fear attached to it. Because even if truth is awful and kind of gross or you don't like it, there's no fear when you hear it. You might not like the truth, but there is no fear attached to truth. The only time we'll have fear is when there's something unknown attached to it. It's like you know that you're not being told something. So we are here at this moment to be liberated, to liberate ourselves. Let go of those doubts, those fears. Allow yourself to stand in your power. Know that when things don't make sense and you know they don't make sense, you aren't fearful of saying no. Being the black sheep, being the one that wants grandma to die because you don't want to participate in an experiment. And be okay with that. Be okay with the fact that our system doesn't like you stepping out of line. And when you step out of line and connect closer to God, source consciousness, that is the last thing they want you to do. They want you in your doubts and fears. They want you begging for the solution. So you'll roll up your sleeve and take any magical solution that they want to pump into you. That's not truth. That's not God. That's not Christ consciousness. We are We are divine beings, and we don't have anything to fear and doubt except for what is told to us through the talking box. So you are being called. Release those fears, those doubts, because when they're gone, you know that they don't have control over you anymore. And you can become that powerful, creative being you've always meant to be. Have a beautiful day. Until tomorrow, namaste.